everyone, and welcome to this section on rooms. So today in this video I'm going to talk to you about location and where I think you should be located and the considerations that you need to take on board before making a decision. Now, whether or not you're a startup or whether or not you're established, location might be important to you at any stage in your practice. So starting up, it could be, am I going to buy, rent or share, right through to when you're an established doctor, maybe you'd like to move rooms at some point. So we're going to consider all of those things in this short video. So firstly, when you're considering your rooms, consider, and this isn't in no particular order, it's not an order of priority, but what are the locations to the hospital like for you? Because the reality is you're going to be getting in and out of your car a lot. It might be that the rooms are actually at the hospital, but where are you operating and is the location convenient? Is it easy to park? Is it easy to, turn right at an intersection and it doesn't hold you up 15 minutes? Do some planning and travel around before you decide their location. And obviously travel around at peak times that you would be traveling. It might be okay if you're leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning, but it might be a very different story if you're trying to navigate to another hospital site, later in the day or back to your consulting rooms. So consider this in your planning. It's very, very important. Another note really, and probably if I had to say a priority, this is the most important, are you going to see people that you like as patients? So we call this your avatar. So what is your avatar? What are you trying to attract to your business? And does this area provide these patients? Now, one thing that you can ask your hospital is to give you a summary of the postcodes where the patients are mostly coming from. That might give you some idea of where the traffic is from or to a particular area. Where are people willing to travel? But do you like the type of patients that you're going to see? It's pretty obvious that if you're going to be, at the top end cost-wise, for example, that a low socioeconomic area might not be the right one for you. But consider all the ins and outs of the patients. Do you like the way they are? Is there a lot of work cover that you don't like or you do like? Consider all of these things so that you make sure you're attracting to your business not just lots of patients, because when you first start, you're going to be concerned about volume. You're just wanting to get people through the door. But as you go along in business, you're going to be more specific about it and more worried about your time and the time you spend and your return on investment. So think big picture, what type of patients am I trying to attract for what type of surgeries or procedures? That's really important when you decide your location. Think about the other services in the area. Now, doctors are generally pretty good at thinking of these things. So obviously, is there X-ray nearby? Is there pathology that you like? And is it convenient to the patients? Are the patients likely to go there? So it's no use you going likely to go there. So I like this particular pathology, but maybe a lot of your patients don't want to go there. A lot of your patients feel that it's too expensive or whatever. So these are considerations that you need to take on board before you decide your location. Now, probably the biggest one of all, the most important, I just said the happiness one was the most important, but really I think the most important is how long are you going to spend in the car if you're consulting at too many locations. So what's too many? So what I think is a perfect plan is to have an inner city location and then have a country location. Now, some people have an inner city, an outer city and a country location. That can be fine as well. But if you're going further than that, you're playing cat and mouse in the car all day. You're wasting your time in the car. I've got doctors come to see me that are consulting at 6 locations. It's like you're across a ravine with your fingernails and your toenails. Let go, and have confidence in an area. If you've done your research, you like the area, the hospitals that you're seeing have given you good data, there's lots of patients for what you particularly do in the area, then be confident with that and move forward, because nothing will waste your time more than going to 100 locations. Well, obviously it's not 100, but a lot of locations that you're just going to be pulled from pillar to post and you're wasting hours upon hours in the car each week. These are the considerations you really have to think about when you are deciding your location. Obviously you have to decide too the type of location. So is it going to be a house? Is it going to be commercial suites? And then again, thinking about your avatar and saying, what type of patients have I got? Would they like to come to these suites? So for example, I can remember a few years ago, a plastic surgeon who saw a lot of elderly patients, and he put chairs and went to a location that was very funky, trendy. These chairs you could hardly get out of, they didn't have arms and so forth. It just wasn't appropriate for his major avatar, and he paid the price because people stopped coming. So think about that when you're going into a location. These things are really important. It's not just important to think about, oh, who am I with, and I'm with my mates and whatever. Consider your business. Because remember what we talked about before, if you've listened to the mindset series, we talked about useful and not so useful beliefs. So what happens is, if you decide, yep, it's really good for me to go with, my mate Henry, then you will look for evidence to support that. And sometimes because you're doing that, you're not really looking objectively at the situation and saying, is this good for me? Is this good for my business and family moving forward? Or will I be out of balance where I am and not meeting my core needs? So I hope that gives you some valuable information about location and what to consider. So again, don't be in too many places. As I said, if you're in too many places, the other negative of that is GPs won't refer because they know you're not there a lot. So you won't develop solid referral patterns. I'd be looking to be somewhere at least once a week, so you've got great presence for your local referrers. Make sure that the avatar is what you're wanting to track the patients and the GPs for that matter that are in the area. Are they people that you like? Are they going to refer the type of work perhaps? You won't have all those answers, but you can do as much research as you can. Then you can look at things like amenities around. They have to be considered, time spent in the car, and then probably your last consideration is, am I with my friends or our colleagues in the area? Am I close to home? All of those things need to be given a high priority, I think, when you're thinking about what location to go to. So I hope again that's been helpful. If you need assistance rolling out your marketing activities and letting people know that you're there, if you're a VPN, we're already doing it for you. If you're not, come and see me and we can help you with that particular service. Thank you for watching.